In a lab in Japan, scientists watched something that shouldn't be possible. A jellyfish dying of old age suddenly reversed. Its cells didn't just stop aging, they went backwards. Adult tissue transforming into infant cells. Death running in reverse. This is Turritopsis dohrnii, the only animal on Earth that discovered how to cheat death. And we still don't fully understand how. Most jellyfish live for months, maybe a year. They're born, they grow, they reproduce, they die. It's the cycle every living thing follows. But this jellyfish breaks that cycle. When it reaches the end of its life, it doesn't die, it resets. Like pressing restart on biology itself. Scientists call it biological immortality. Not invincibility. It can still be eaten, killed, destroyed. But age can't touch it. And the way it does this challenges everything we thought we knew about how cells work, how bodies age, and what death actually means. To understand what makes this jellyfish impossible, we need to understand what makes every other animal normal, how aging actually works. Every cell in your body has a job. Skin cells protect, muscle cells contract, nerve cells transmit signals. Once specialized, they stay that way. This is called differentiation. A skin cell can't suddenly become a brain cell. A liver cell can't turn into a heart cell. That's the rule. And as cells age, they accumulate damage. DNA degrades, proteins misfold. Eventually, the cell stops functioning, dies. This is aging. Every animal on Earth follows this pattern. You're born with young cells. Those cells age. Eventually, enough cells fail and you die. There's no reverse, no undo button. Once a cell differentiates, once damage accumulates, the process only goes one direction. Forward. Except for Turritopsis dohrnii. This jellyfish found a way to hit rewind. And it does it through a process that sounds like science fiction. The jellyfish starts its life as a larva, a tiny swimming blob, barely visible to the naked eye. It drifts through the ocean, searching for a surface. When it finds one, it transforms into a polyp. A stationary form, like a small anemone, that feeds and grows attached to the sea floor. From that polyp, tiny medusae bud off. These are the adult jellyfish, translucent bells about 0.2 inches wide. That's 4 millimeters across. The adult medusa swims, hunts microscopic prey, reproduces. And then, normally, it dies. Old age, starvation, injury, the end of the cycle. But not this species. When Turritopsis dohrnii faces death, it does something no other animal can do. It transforms back into a polyp. The entire adult body collapses. The bell shrinks, the tentacles retract. The jellyfish sinks to the ocean floor and reattaches. And then it grows back into a polyp, the starting form, infant stage, as if it was never an adult at all. A complete biological reset. This isn't healing. This isn't regeneration. This is every specialized cell in the body reverting to an earlier, unspecialized state. In almost every other animal, this is impossible. Differentiation is a one-way street. Once a cell commits to a job, it's locked in. In almost every other animal, this is impossible. Differentiation is a one-way street. Once a cell commits to a job, it's locked in. The first scientist to document this was a marine biologist studying jellyfish in the 1990s. He noticed something strange in his lab tanks. Jellyfish that should have died were reverting to polyps. He stressed them repeatedly. Starvation, temperature shocks, physical damage. Every time, the same response. The medusa would collapse, sink, and transform. He published his findings. The scientific world was stunned. Because if one species could do this, what did that mean for the rules we thought governed all life? What else was possible? For years, the discovery was largely ignored. It seemed too bizarre, too unlikely, a fluke of nature confined to one tiny jellyfish. But then other researchers started replicating the experiments. Different labs, different conditions, same result. It was real. And the question shifted from whether it was possible to how it was possible. What was happening inside these cells? That's when the real investigation began. And what scientists found changed everything we thought we knew about aging and death. So how does this jellyfish break the most fundamental rule of cellular biology? The answer lies in its genes, specifically which genes it activates. Most animals have genes that control pluripotency, the ability of a cell to become multiple types. These genes are active in embryos, then shut off. In adult animals, these genes stay silent, locked away, because if they activated, chaos would follow. Cells changing type randomly, tumors forming. But Turritopsis dohrnii can reactivate these genes on command. When the jellyfish is stressed, injured, or aging, it flips the genetic switch. Scientists discovered this by watching the jellyfish under extreme conditions: starvation, physical damage, temperature shock. Each time, the same response. The medusa's bell begins to shrink. Its swimming muscles stop contracting. It drifts to the bottom, helpless. To any predator, it looks dead. But inside, something extraordinary is happening. The cells are receiving a signal, a molecular command that tells them to forget what they are. Muscle cells stop being muscle. Nerve cells stop being nerve. Every specialized cell in the body begins to de-differentiate, becoming generic again. And then, once reverted to a stem-like state, they re-differentiate, transforming into the cells of a polyp, completely different tissue types. A 2022 study identified the specific genes involved. Genes linked to DNA repair, cell cycle control, and pluripotency, all activated simultaneously. One gene stood out, a variant of the telomerase gene. In most animals, telomerase activity drops with age. In this jellyfish, it spikes during reversal. Telomeres are the protective caps on DNA strands. Every time a cell divides, telomeres shorten. Eventually, they're too short, and the cell dies. Think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Once they wear away, the lace frays. The cell can't divide anymore. It ages. It dies. Turritopsis dohrnii doesn't just maintain its telomeres. During transformation, it rebuilds them, essentially resetting the cellular clock to zero. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. The jellyfish doesn't just reverse age once. It can do this repeatedly, potentially forever. Researchers in the 1990s first documented this in captivity. A single jellyfish, stressed repeatedly, transformed back to polyp form multiple times. Some specimens have been observed cycling through this process over a dozen times. Adult to polyp, polyp to adult, again and again. And every time, the jellyfish emerges as a genetic copy of itself. No degradation, no loss of function. Perfect biological reset. Scientists tested this. They took genetic samples before and after transformation. Identical DNA. The same individual, just younger. It's like hitting the reset button on a computer. All the programs close, the system reboots, but the hardware stays the same. But there's a cost. During transformation, the jellyfish is completely vulnerable. It can't swim, can't feed, can't escape predators. The process takes days, sometimes weeks, and during that time, the jellyfish is essentially defenseless, a sitting target for anything hungry. In the open ocean, most don't survive the process. They're eaten before transformation completes, or currents sweep them into hostile environments. So while the jellyfish is theoretically immortal, practically, very few live long enough to use this ability more than once or twice. Still, the fact that it's possible at all rewrites what we thought we knew about aging. Death isn't inevitable. It's a biological program. And if one animal figured out how to override that program, what does that mean for the rest of us? Could humans ever do the same? The scientific community has been studying this jellyfish intensely since the discovery. Labs across the world are trying to decode the mechanism. Because if we understand how this jellyfish controls cellular reprogramming without causing cancer, we might unlock the key to reversing human aging. In 2012, a Japanese cellular biologist won the Nobel Prize for discovering how to reverse adult human cells into stem cells in a lab. He identified 4 specific genes. When activated together, they force any adult cell back into a pluripotent state, essentially infant cells. These are called Yamanaka factors, named after the researcher, and they work in almost every animal tested: mice, monkeys, and yes, humans. The process is universal. The machinery for cellular reversal exists in virtually every complex organism. We all have it. We just can't control it. But here's the problem. In living organisms, activating these genes causes cancer. Cells reverting to stem states uncontrollably, dividing without limits. Tumors form. The body loses structure. What should be controlled transformation becomes chaos. This is why we age. It's a safeguard against cancer. And yet, the jellyfish doesn't get cancer. It performs the same process, activates similar genes, and emerges healthy every time. How? What's the jellyfish doing that we can't? What genetic safeguards does it have that prevent the chaos we see in other animals? That's the question driving research today. And in 2023, scientists finally found part of the answer: additional tumor suppressor genes. While pluripotency genes are telling cells to revert, these suppressor genes are keeping divisions controlled, preventing runaway growth. It's a genetic balancing act, reversal without chaos. The jellyfish evolved both the accelerator and the brakes. We only have the accelerator. And there's more. During transformation, the jellyfish's immune system shuts down temporarily, preventing it from attacking its own changing cells. In mammals, the immune system would recognize dedifferentiating cells as abnormal and destroy them. The jellyfish evolved a workaround. It temporarily disables the immune response during transformation, then reactivates it once the process is complete. Perfectly timed shutdown and restart. It's a system refined over millions of years of evolution, trial and error across countless generations. And it works flawlessly. Some researchers believe this species is genuinely biologically immortal, that under perfect conditions, a single individual could live forever. In theory, a single Turritopsis dohrnii could live forever, cycling through life stages endlessly, never aging, never dying of old age. But here's the philosophical question that haunts researchers. If you transform back into a polyp, are you still you? Your body resets, your cells change. Scientists argue, yes, the genetic code remains identical. It's the same individual, just in a different form, like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. But unlike a butterfly, which transforms once, the jellyfish can transform repeatedly. Infinite cycles, eternal biological reincarnation. Some philosophers argue this challenges our concept of identity itself. If every cell in your body is replaced, are you the same person? For humans, every cell in our body is replaced roughly every 7 to 10 years. We're biologically different people, but we feel continuous. The jellyfish takes this further. Complete cellular restructuring, adult to infant, infant to adult. The same DNA, but entirely different bodies. The implications are staggering. This tiny creature, barely visible to the naked eye, holds secrets that could revolutionize medicine. Understanding its genetic safeguards could lead to treatments for age-related diseases, Alzheimer's, heart disease, cellular degeneration of all kinds. Some researchers believe we could develop therapies that partially reprogram human cells. Not full reversal, but enough to repair age damage. Imagine erasing decades of cellular wear, restoring youthful function to aging organs. Extending human lifespan, not by years, but by decades. In 2020, researchers reversed age-related vision loss in elderly mice by partially reprogramming retinal cells. The mice could see like young adults again. In 2023, another team extended the lifespan of middle-aged mice by 25%. That's 25%, 25% more life. If applied to humans, that's equivalent to giving someone an extra 20 years, 2 decades of additional life, just from partial cellular reprogramming. The technology isn't science fiction anymore. It's being tested right now in laboratories around the world, on mice, on primates, on human cells. But we're still decades away from safe human application. The cancer risk is too high, the immune complications too severe, the unknowns too many. Still, the proof of concept exists. One animal on Earth solved this problem. Evolution found a way, which means it's biologically possible. And if it's possible in nature, it's possible in medicine. We just need to understand the safeguards, the genetic brakes that prevent chaos. The jellyfish isn't just a curiosity anymore. It's a blueprint, a biological instruction manual for defeating aging itself. Every gene we identify, every mechanism we decode, brings us one step closer to rewriting the rules of human mortality. So what does this mean for us? Can humans ever achieve biological immortality? The answer is complicated. Possibly, but not anytime soon. We've already learned how to reverse cells in a lab. The Yamanaka factors work. But doing it safely in a living human is a different challenge. The risk of cancer is too high, the immune system complications too severe. We can reset individual cells. We can't reset an entire body. Yet. But research is progressing faster than anyone expected. New techniques are being developed, new safeguards discovered, new possibilities opening. Some labs are experimenting with partial reprogramming, reversing cells just enough to repair age damage, but not enough to cause cancer. Early results in mice are promising. Old mice treated with partial reprogramming show improved vision, muscle function, and lifespan extension. They're not becoming young again, they're just aging more slowly. Their cells are repairing damage faster than it accumulates. Other researchers are focusing on specific organs. Can we reverse aging in just the heart, just the brain, just the eyes? Targeted age reversal, fixing the parts that fail first, buying time while we figure out how to reverse the whole system. Still, the fact that one animal solved this problem proves it's biologically possible. Evolution found a way. We just need to understand how. Turritopsis dohrnii also raises deeper questions about identity, about what it means to age, about whether death is necessary at all. For billions of years, death has been evolution's tool. It clears space for new generations. It drives adaptation. It's part of the system. But this jellyfish opted out. And it thrives. There's no evolutionary penalty for immortality. At least, not for this species. Turritopsis dohrnii broke the most fundamental rule of life. It found the reset button hidden in our genetic code and learned how to press it. We're still trying to understand how, still trying to replicate it, still asking if we should. But one thing is certain: death is negotiable. The immortal jellyfish proved it. And somewhere in its genes lies the blueprint for a future where aging is optional. Nature, unfiltered.